Hello, my dear friends, my students. Welcome to Sri Jain Rank Zone classes. I am your friend and mentor for the coming classes with respect to biology. I will be taking zoology means animal science. This is the very first lecture introducing you with class 12 biology, that is human reproduction. The lectures are divided into different phases, means the subtopics. So we are having the very first topic, that is male reproductive system. Now coming to the male reproductive system, this is the first lecture. Now we are moving to further details. These are the reproductive events in humans which takes place. They are very common, and you will be knowing all these processes. Like first I'll talk about gametogenesis, right? What is gametogenesis? The process of formation of gametes, and formation of gametes by the gametangial cells, or we can say by the primordial or sex mother cells, that is the sperm mother cell and the sperm mother cell, SMC, sperm mother cell, and the ovum mother cell or the oocyte, ovum mother cell or the oocyte. Okay, the process of formation of gametes is known as what? Gametogenesis. Insemination, introduction, means introduction of the gametes into the female reproductive tract is known as what? Insemination. The process of introduction of the gametes, means the male gametes, the sperms, into the female reproductive system is known as what? Insemination. Then what is fertilization? Fusion. This is the fusion, my students, fusion of male and female gametes, right? Male and female gametes. This is the fusion of male and female gametes. Then all these steps, they are very synchronized. They are one after other. So fertilization, it will lead to the fusion of male and female gamete. It will lead to the formation of, the zygote. The zygote within 72 hours get implanted. The process of implantation. Implantation means it is the process in which the uterine wall, the uterine epithelium, right? Uterine epithelium, it basically receives the fertilized zygote. It receives the fertilized zygote. I hope you are not having any problem. Yeah. So implantation means it is the attachment of the fertilized zygote with the uterine wall or the uterus. Then the process of gestation, that is 9 months gestation period. The 9 months gestation period, approximately 270 to 280 days, right? It can vary depending upon the fluid availability. It can depend upon the dietary condition of the pregnant lady. So the 9 months of gestation period, it is the period through which the embryonic development goes through. So this is the process or the period of embryonic development. Okay, then the embryo is developed. Now it is to be delivered. So the process gestation is completed, this embryonic development is completed, then we comes to the process of parturition, that is delivery of young one, right? This is the delivery of young one. Okay, in layman terminology it is also known as what? Labor. Labor, which is attested by labor pain, mean it is the second most sensitive pain on this planet. Second most sensitive or severe pain on this planet. Okay, now you are going to ask now question. It is, I can see it is roaming in your brain, which is the most or the first severe pain. The first severe pain, it is the angina pectoris, that is cardiac arrest or heart attack, right? The pain, okay, sharp shooting pain. Okay, now coming to the topic, we'll move further. This is the outline of male reproductive system, my students, in which the testis means the testis, it is the reproductive organ, it is a gland, you know, it is a gland, it is a reproductive organ which actually produces gametes. The gametes, they are formed in testis. Then it is primary sex organ. What are primary sex organs? The sex organs which are linked directly with the production of gametes, directly linked with the production of gametes. Okay, production of gametes. Which gamete? Obviously sperm. Yeah. So testis, it is situated outside the abdominal cavity within a pouch which is called scrotum. Why is it so? Anyone? Yeah, it is because of the scrotal pouch. It maintains the temperature for the formation of sperm. The process of sperm formation is known as what? Spermatogenesis. It is known as what? Spermatogenesis. The process of formation of sperm is known as what? Spermatogenesis. And the spermatogenesis, it needs a temperature around 2 to 2.5 or 3 degrees Celsius lesser than the body temperature. So your body temperature is what? 37 degrees Celsius, means 37.4 degrees Celsius. This temperature needs to be reduced when we talk about the process of formation of sperm. So sperm needs around a temperature of 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lesser than the normal body temperature for their formation. Okay, so now we are going to learn about an gross anatomy of testis. Testis consist of testicular lobules. Testicular lobules means, if you can see, it is a almond or a pear shaped gland like this, and it is having these convoluted junctions, right, like a moving snake. So these testicular lobules means, these testicular lobules, they are around 250 compartments. They are around like 250 compartments. Okay, so these 250 compartments, which are known as what? Testicular lobules. What are they are consisting of? So they are having interstitial spaces, the spaces between two testicular lobules, right, and they consist of seminiferous tubules. So each 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules, they are found in each lobule, and they are highly coiled. They are highly coiled. So they are like this, like this. They are highly coiled. 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3. They are highly coiled, right? Highly coiled. Okay. So the testicular lobules, it consists of interstitial spaces. It consists of 1 to 3 seminiferous tubule in each lobule, which is highly coiled structure, right? Now interstitial spaces, the function. The interstitial spaces, the function is, they are having small blood vessels which are running, and they have ICSH. What is ICSH? Interstitial cell stimulating hormone, which is secreted to produce the, which is secreted to produce, actually which is secreted to help the formation of help the synthesis of the sperm, and it also produces what? The testicular hormones, that is androgens. Okay, so these ICSH, which are actually secreted by a feedback mechanism generated by your anterior part of the pituitary gland. So interstitial cells or the Leydig cells, they actually help to support and they maintain the blood levels of androgens. Androgens, they are very responsible for actually making you visible what? Young. Means they actually make you visible, make you confirm, they help you feel that you are in an age of puberty, that now you are an adolescent. Okay, so these androgens, they are actually sex maturation factors. So these are sex maturation factors, means they actually help the moment someone enters in a juvenile phase or enter in a pubertal phase. There are many changes, the changes which are subjected to pubertal growth, and this pubertal growth is basically because of the hormones which are at the peak level, at the highest level. Okay, so androgens, their main function is to develop the secondary sexual characteristics, if I am not wrong, my students, secondary sexual characteristics, right? Now, other than this, most importantly, Leydig cells, when we talk about the Leydig cells, the interstitial spaces, it is rich in zinc, and zinc, it basically forms a very important metalloprotein of your body. Zinc, like iron, it is a basic part of various types of cytochromes which are involved in different types of biochemical reactions, and it also helps to boost your immunity. Okay, the main function of zinc is to boost your immunity and to maintain your potency, especially in case of males. Okay, so zinc supplements are taken in case of impotency and the other factors in which might be a testicular degeneration can happen, or might be the sperm production or the sperm mobility can be compromised, right, my students? Now I am talking about the seminiferous tubules. I hope everything is clear. Is everything clear? Right. Okay, now seminiferous tubules, they are having 1, 2, 3 in each lobule, 1, 2, 3 in each lobule, seminiferous tubules. They are highly coiled. They have male germ cells and they have Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells, they are nurse cells, right? Yeah. So male germ cells, which are known as what? Spermatogonia. Okay, spermatogonia. The spermatogonia, it undergoes the process of meiosis and it forms sperms. Okay, the process of meiosis, it is basically having meiotic 1 and meiotic 2 divisions. So a spermatogonia, which is 2n. What is 2n? Anyone? What is 2n? Diploid. Okay, now it is going to make n haploid, right? It is haploid. Okay, so 2n, that is spermatogonia, or the sperm mother cell, it is going to make a small n, that is haploid sperms. The process involves formation of 4 sperms, mature sperms. When one spermatogonia, it undergoes the process of meiosis. Okay, I should rub it so that it can make things more clear. Okay, now it's fine. Yeah. So the process of meiosis in case of spermatogonia, it involves the formation of sperm, and these mature sperms are known as what? Spermatid. Okay, so I'll tell you about spermatoleiosis and spermiosis. Okay, I'll tell you. Now Sertoli cells, they are the nurse cells. They provide nutrition because the development of sperm, the mobility of sperm, it needs good amount of sucrose. High amount of sucrose. It needs good amount of sucrose, good amount of lactate. Okay, that's why the sugar levels cannot be compromised anyhow, right? So these Sertoli cells, they provide nutrition to germ cells. Okay, so this nutrition helps in the formation or the synthesis of sperm. Okay, I hope I made something out of this. Maybe you are having some problems. We'll consider the doubts, but is everything right? Yeah, is everything understood? Okay, so we are going to the next topic, right? Yeah. Now, what are primary organs and what are secondary sex organs, right? So, primary sex organs, they are actually involved in the formation of gamete, sperm, and ovary, ovum, or egg. Now, what are secondary sex organs which actually helps to which actually helps these primary, the products of primary sex organs, means the gametes, to reach up to their destiny, to make out the fertilization, right? So secondary sex organs, they actually help to convey the gametes to exactly that spot which is required for the fertilization. Am I right? Yeah. So secondary sex organs, it helps to maintain the mobility of sperms, it helps to maintain the pH. Yeah, pH is also very important. So how come pH is an important factor in this? Yeah, it's very important because the female vagina, the entry of the female vagina is having a acidophile, means a bacteria which maintains the acidic nature. Why? To actually prevent the internal apertures of female reproductive organs so that they cannot come under the contamination of fungal or the other infections, right? So these acidophiles, basically they maintain the pH of vagina, and this pH, but it is a biological pH of that particular location, but this pH can harm the sperm. That's why the production of bicarbonate ions is sustained, it is needed so that it can further neutralize the acid. Neutralization. Chemistry is everywhere, yeah, bios are everywhere, science is everywhere, right? So prostate gland, secondary sex organs, I'll tell each and every function of all the secondary sexual organs. Right now, you just come to grab a count of it. The prostate, seminal vesicles, okay, or seminal vesicles, vas deferens, epididymis, and penis. They all are secondary sex organs. They are not involved in the synthesis or the process of formation of sperm. They are just helping each other so that sperm can reach to the destined location. What are the accessory or external sex characters which actually give a proof to others that now we are young, now we are capable enough to think, now we are capable enough to take our decisions. So all the changes which are actually the part of puberty, especially the age you are having, they are basically because of your chemical messengers which are moving freely in the blood. These chemical messengers, they hit your brain, they hit your nerves again and again, and you feel highly energetic, right? So in case of males, projection, the very first important is appearance of, appearance of a laryngeal nodule. Yeah, it's not better, it's not fair to call it a laryngeal nodule, because laryngeal nodules, they are sometimes symptomatic, means they can be as part of a disease or a disorder. It is Adam's apple, right? Okay, I'll tell you how it is formed afterwards. So the Adam's apple, because of it, the constriction of the vocal cords leads to the decrease in the frequency of the voice. Okay, so pitch of voice actually gets lowered. Appearance of beard, now we are having a style of it, okay, having good mustaches and beard. Okay, the beard, broad shoulders, narrow hips, these are the characteristics which are actually inclined towards a masculine behavior or a male behavior. So low pitch voice, beard, broad shoulders and narrow hips, these are the accessory or external sex characters. I made myself very clear. Now when we talk about the females. The primary sex organs is ovary, which produce ovum or egg. The secondary sex organs are fallopian tubes, uterus, vagina, mammary glands. Okay, because the secretion of milk, the ejection of milk is under the control of the posterior pituitary hormone, that is oxytocin. The formation of milk is because of the hormone which is produced by the anterior pituitary, that is prolactin, okay, or mammotrophic hormones. So these hormones, they actually are triggered especially when the levels of relaxin goes high in the blood. The moment a pregnant baby delivers a pregnant lady delivers a baby during the process of parturition, labor, what will happen? The relaxin levels go high, and which will further kick the oxytocin hormone to be released. This oxytocin hormone, the very first, it produces what? The first milk feed, colostrum, which is highly rich in IgA, immunoglobulin A. Okay. Now, the accessory or external sex characters, it includes high pitch voice, okay, because there is no Adam's apple, there is no constriction of the vocal cords, high pitch voice, smooth face, okay, narrow shoulder, broad hips, because maximally the hip region or the pelvic region, it needs good amount of fat deposition. Why? Because they have to actually take care of a developing baby, a fetus, for 9 more months. So to create a cushion like bed, okay, this cushion like bed, it is like layers and layers secreted, so that the baby can easily move here and there, okay, the developing baby can move, right? Okay. Cartoon, right? So this is basically why the hips are broadened, because they have to deliver, they have to actually carry the baby for the 9 more months. Okay, so I hope the things are getting clearer and clearer. Now I'll move to the next topic. Yeah, very importantly, the anatomical features of male reproductive system. Okay, so in this anatomical feature, why actually I try to actually explain with the help of diagram, because sooner or later what you have to write in your academic exams, be it is a board exam, be it is a competition, NEET, you have to remember the specific terms and terminologies which are needed and which can be converted into a question, right? So I'll start this red box. I'll change the color because it is also having red. Yellow is fine, right? Okay. So we'll consider first the ones which are actually enclosed in the red boxes, like testis, testis, you know it? Yeah, testis. Scrotum, okay, this is scrotum, okay, I will make it more dark, okay, yeah, it's fine. So the testis, scrotum, you know, penis, the external genitalia, prostate gland, they are the helpers. They are the helpers because prostate gland, it helps to, you know, you can say it helps to nurture, it helps to provide, you know, sufficient amount of sucrose to the moving in motile sperm, okay, because the sperm, it is having n number of mitochondria arranged, and this basically gland, it helps the movement of sperm to get facilitated. Okay, I'll explain further. Then that is vas deferens. It is a tube which actually is helping the sperm to come out, right? So what is the process of release of sperm from seminiferous tubule? The process known as what? spermiation. Spermiation is the process of removal of sperms from seminiferous tubules, right? Now coming next, we are having seminal vesicles. Again, it is also a helper gland. Okay. Seminal vesicles, it helps to produce semen, which actually prevents the movement of sperm from excessive friction, because the heat developed by excessive friction can actually kills the moving sperms. So that is why the semen produced by seminal vesicle, it basically create a cover, a kind of layer which actually slows down the process of friction or the heat developed by the friction. Am I clear? Hello everyone, am I clear? Yeah. Now then I will talk about the most importantly, suspensory ligaments. Now suspensory ligament of penis, yeah, right. And when we will study about the ocular regions, mean the eye, then it is suspensory ligament of only suspensory ligament. Okay, which have to work actually which to project to increase or decrease the diameter of lens. Okay, so we will be discussing furthermore in the next coming lectures. Okay, till now, if you are having any problem, if you are having any doubts, you can just ask. Okay, we are having one more gland. Sorry, I just escaped one more gland, bulbourethral gland, Cowper's gland. In the next turn, I will be showing you, the pathway or the passage of this sperm, okay, na? And the functions of all these parts. Okay, they should be remembered. Then why? Okay, na? Cross-sectional view we will study about the testes. Okay, till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye bye. Take care.